Hi everybody, and welcome to WTF Hammer Underworlds. Today I decided I was going to show you a do-it-yourself way of organizing miniatures, which helps keep them in place in an inexpensive way, helps make them portable, and still makes them look good. So what you can see here is how my miniatures are organized in general. I have a Shade Spire box on the left, Night Vault in the middle, Beastgrave in the back. Further in the back here, I have my two Dreadfane warbands, and here I have the Chaos Gargant, and I'm also going to be putting the Fomoroid Crusher in there once I add some Velcro to it, which is going to be what the do-it-yourself video will be about today. So I just got these new warbands. I got the Dark Elf warband, I got the new Orc warband, and I also got the Fomoroid Crusher for that solo campaign. What I'm going to show you today is how to install them into these Tupperware containers to help protect them while still making them look good, as well as making them portable. And I'm going to just zoom in a little bit to show you what each of these boxes look like. So as you can see, I printed out a Shade Spire logo for Season 1, Night Vault for Season 2, and Beastgrave for Season 3. And I also printed the faction-specific logos. So I have Skaven, Forest Riders, Magors, etc., all kind of lined up in this crisscross pattern. I'm going to open and show you how I have them organized here. So right here, there's Skaven, Forest Riders, Magors, etc. As you can see, I have them attached to the bottom here using Velcro. So you can just grab the base. I have the female end, I think, the soft end, attached to the miniature itself, and the scratchier male end attached to the base. So it's not super complicated. You can probably figure out just by looking at what I've done how you can do this. But regardless, I'm going to show you the steps that I do to add the Velcro to these miniatures by demonstrating on my new miniatures, which I haven't yet put in the Beastgrave box. I've organized things this way with all of my miniatures, so I have all my Night Vault miniatures adhered to this Tupperware container in the same way. Beastgrave is the same. Only thing Beastgrave is really lacking is that WarhammerUnderworlds.com hasn't released the faction-specific logos in a high definition yet, so I haven't been able to print them out and do that whole zigzag pattern to make everything look good. Last thing here, I got a larger container for my Chaos Gargant and for my Fomoroid Crusher. I found images here, so you have the Gargant face, the Fomoroid Crusher face, which I photoshopped off of their cards. Chaos Gargant is attached into this container with Velcro just like the other ones. I'll be putting the Fomoroid Crusher in on this side once I finish preparing the Velcro. And finally, I have my Dreadfane warbands here. So Iron, Soul, Condemners, and Lady Heroes Mournflight. This container I'm not very happy with. I was hoping to find something that looked more like these larger ones, but just in smaller format. I just haven't found it yet, but hopefully I will eventually. Then I'll just swap out this ugly Tupperware for one that looks nicer. All right, so I'm going to go through the steps to show you how I add Velcro to these miniature bases in order to organize and protect them. All right, everybody, so I'm going to demonstrate to you now how to apply these Velcro pads to your miniatures. I'll be starting with Morgwait's Blood Coven, which is 5 miniatures. Afterward, I'm going to be doing Morgoth's Crushers, which is 3 miniatures. And then I'm going to be doing the Fomoroid Crusher single miniature, attaching them individually into their respective spots into these containers. So Beastgrave container for these 2 warbands, and then just sort of my large monster container for the Fomoroid Crusher. So the amount of materials you require will probably depend on the quality of the Velcro you get. I got this Velcro from the dollar store. That's where I'm buying all these things. Everything I'm doing is cheap. But I've also bought more expensive Velcro, and I've always had the same issue. The issue is that whenever I attach the sticky end to my miniature and the sticky end to the Tupperware container, and then I attach the 2 Velcro pieces together, for whatever reason, the Velcro holds onto itself better than the glue holds onto either the miniature or the container. So whenever I separate it, I always end up ripping one of the pads off one of the sections. So what I always end up doing is I buy some super glue, because the glue of these things typically doesn't cut it. And I actually also use a razor to shave down the soft side of the Velcro, just so that the Velcro doesn't stick so strongly to itself. I've had situations where I didn't shave it, and then when I tried to separate them, the glue held on very strong because of the super glue, the Velcro held on very strong, and then I just ripped my miniature off its base entirely. So I just recommend shaving down the Velcro a little bit, just so it doesn't hold on so tightly. So let's get started. I'm going to be needing 5 Velcro pieces for my 5 Dark Elf unit. So I'm just going to start by shaving the soft side down just a little bit. Nothing major. I still do want it to stick, but I just don't want it to stick so strongly. Alright, so that should just about do it. If it doesn't do it after I attach it, if I find it sticking too much, I'll just shave it a little bit more till it gets down to, I guess, an attachment strength that I'm happy with. So next thing I'm going to do is very simple. I'm just going to peel off the female side, the soft side. It's the soft side that goes on the actual base of the miniature itself. Mostly because I don't want to risk having the rougher side scratch any of my boards. And sometimes you have to do a little bit of trial and error here. So not all of the bases are super well equipped to attach Velcro to them. So for example, the leader here has a very deep base, which means I'm gonna have to be a bit creative in terms of how I actually attach the Velcro piece. I'll probably have to attach it a little bit around the edges here, because if I put anything too deep in the center, it's just not gonna reach the other Velcro end. This miniature, on the other hand, has the perfect depth. I can just attach this almost directly with some super glue, of course, and it'll be the exact range necessary to reach the Velcro. So what I'll be doing here is I'll start with this one just to show you an easy example. I'm just going to take out a bit of super glue, which I also got from the dollar store. Put a bit on the base of my miniature, nothing too heavy. Attach the soft end of the Velcro to it. I'm just going to let that sit for a while. So while that's sitting and adhering a little bit more strongly, I'll just do the same thing for the rest of my miniatures. Once I'm done doing this, I'll show you the end product and I'll show you where to go from there. Okay, so I just finished applying all the Velcro to all the bases of my miniature. So most of them are pretty easy. So this is the Foamoroid Crusher. The base is super flat. I just super glued the soft side of the Velcro to the end of it. All the Morgox Crusher's units were similar. The base was pretty flat. It was really easy to attach this Velcro piece to it. I super glued it just so it stays tight. Sometimes when the base isn't completely flush, it's good to cut off little parts just to make sure it can remain flush. So I got it on all my units here. And similarly, the Dark Elf Morgwaith Blade Coven also worked out really well. The only one that was a bit tricky, which I haven't tested yet, is the leader Morgwaith herself, who has a really hollow base. So what I did is I ended up cutting the Velcro and just sort of running it around the inside edges of the base. But one thing you need to make sure of is the Velcro. If you put it either too close to the edge or place it on a section of the base that's too low to the ground, then your miniature is going to become all off center. You'll be placing it down, and because of the Velcro, it'll be off balanced. And it just makes it look less nice. So if you're the type of person who likes your miniatures to look nice, if you paint them well and you want to put them on the board and have them look really good, having Velcro cause them to bulge and be a little bit off center obviously shouldn't be the goal here. But I've placed mine in such a way that they're all completely flush with the ground, so the Velcro doesn't in any way cause them to become off centered. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with my Beastgrave warbands. I'm going to take all of the rough sides of the Velcro and glue them in such a way that they're spaced out, so that I'll have room to place all of my units while following that sort of crisscross grid that I have going here. So if you look here, I have two slots in the middle available. One here where I'll be putting Morgwaiths, and one over here where I'll be putting Morgox Crushes. And I'll show you what the Velcro looks like when it's in place before I actually start attaching the miniatures to it. Also, I'm going to be super gluing these bases into their respective spots in this Tupperware container as well, so that it actually stays there and it doesn't just peel up when I pull my miniature up off of it. Alright, so I'm all done with the super glue. I'm all done with the Velcro. I may still need to use the razor. That's going to be a bit of trial and error. I'm going to start with the Foamoroid Crusher actually. So as you can see here, I just placed the Velcro bit on this side of the Tupperware container. I have my Foamoroid Crusher here. I've primed them. I haven't painted them yet, but I'll just paint them later. And look, I can just place them right here, boom, on top of the Velcro, and just like that, it holds its place. And it doesn't hold its place too strongly because I shaved the Velcro, so I can just easily kind of grab the Foamoroid Crusher and pull, and he comes off. Velcro remains here, Velcro remains there. One thing I'd recommend though is typically don't grab your miniature from the top when you pull. Try to grab from the base. I just have a bit of a hard time in this container because it's a bit crammed. And And I'll show you the end product for my Beast Grave box. So if you look here, I put 3 of the Velcro bits on this side of the container for the orcs, and I put 5 over here on this side of the container for the dark elves. So I've already put the opposite ends of the Velcro on the miniatures themselves, so I'm just going to place them in, make sure everything works well. Mostly I need to test Morgwaite's Velcro because hers was a bit sketchy, considering that it was all along the outside and that it wasn't actually in the center. But I'll just start with the orcs. So this orc, boom, works well, works well, works well. So all my orcs are in place. That elf fits well. This one also. Yep, Morgwaite's holding okay. Boom, so it's a little bit crammed. I could have made a bit more space for the dark elves. You can kind of see they're all holding their position here. I could put the cover back on, bring it around with me. It's portable, it's safe, it's protected. My miniatures stay in place, so they're not just going to bounce around and break off their arms and their legs. Whole process took me probably like between 10 and 15 minutes. Velcro super glue costed me maybe $3-4 max, and I still have a bunch left that I can use the next time there's a release. Razor I already own. I'm not going to tell you the cost of the electricity because it's basically irrelevant. But anyway, that's basically my whole video. I hope you enjoyed this do-it-yourself method of organizing your miniatures and placing them in Tupperware containers that is protective. I'm also going to be including all the images that I showed you. So the Beast Grave image, all the specific logos, Shadespire, Night Vault, etc. on a PDF file in the description. Hopefully by the time I post this video, Games Workshop will have released the new images for the latest 4 warbands, because they haven't actually updated their website since 2019. So hopefully those are all updated. I'll take those images and I'll add them to that file as well so that you can have access to them. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Please like and subscribe if you like this video and if you'd like me to do more do-it-yourself videos. And I hope you all have a nice day.